Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to another session of Give Us Five. And again, we have a great example of a human being, a leader, an educator, an athlete, and I will just say a person who overcame severe adversity in his life and went on to achieve great things. And I'm talking about Dr. James Purdue. James, welcome to the program.
Bob, thank you for having me on here. Hey, and don't take that doctor thing too out of control. I can't write out a prescription, but I can drive you to your pharmacy if you need me to.
Great, great, super. Well, are you ready to get started and let us hit you with these questions?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. I've been looking forward to this for weeks now.
It might help, James, if the audience understood the adversity that you overcame as you answer these questions. They might be able to see them in a completely different context.
All right. Oh, you want me to go ahead and up to
Yeah.
how? Yeah, I was 2 weeks into college on a baseball scholarship. Wanted to be that next Nolan Ryan, or I say Babe Ruth, even though that Mark McGuire thing came later, but wanted to be that next guy to go pro to help my family. And I got to play one college game, and I was the only freshman starting in the fall. The very next day, a bunch of us got together and they were playing just a pickup game of football, but we were playing tackle, but no helmets, no pads, just a pickup game. Normally, you see people out there playing. And my team, we'd been out there maybe 2 hours. My team got the ball back, and I remember telling the group, I said, "Hey, we've been out here for a while. I need to get my stuff ready for class." And I said, I'm going to go ahead and leave." Well, then I got maybe 10 feet away, and I heard someone say, "We need someone to run the ball." And I said, "All right, I'll come back for one more play." And that one play is what changed my life forever. To hand the ball off to him, I scored a touchdown. And of course, when the touchdown scored, the play's over. It's over. Well, one guy continued playing when I was turning around toward everybody and hit me up high and ended up breaking my neck, uh, paralyzed instantly. I mean, I went down and I couldn't move anything.
And you remain a quadriplegic today.
Yeah, still quadriplegic, use a wheelchair, able to use my arms and hands. They're not perfect, but still, because of the part of the definition of a quadriplegic is no use or limited use in all four limbs, and I have limited
Yeah.
in my four extremities.
Yeah. And again, as we talk through these questions, the audience is going to find out that you did not let that control your life. You took control of it, and obviously have done some great things. So the first question we have for you is, what motivated you to pursue the profession that you did? I mean, you stepped into education. What motivated you?
When I first, well, of course, got injured, what kept me going is that true grit of being an athlete. Now, playing the game of baseball had changed to playing the game of life. Okay. Now I had to use all that I had for what I wanted to become in baseball. Now I had to use it to have a good life in a wheelchair, because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody with a spinal cord injury where I lived. Didn't meet any, so I didn't know what to expect. So one thing I remember saying is, if I wanted to have a good life, I needed to go back to college and get that degree, so one day I can get that house with the white picket fence and have my little dog running around. And so, well, that was the one thing. And what really helped me is, part of wanting to get an education is, well, let's get into coaching. I enjoy the sports, and so let's get in that to be my main fuel. And teaching second was my secondary, so for that.
Great, great. Well, James, there's a long list of positive traits that are exhibited by good leaders. I wonder if you might share 3 to 5 that you see as very important in a leader.
Uh, one is don't panic when the rush comes. How many when it comes to that game winning play or that game situation, and all of a sudden they're freaking out. Well, I got to do that. Stay calm, be direct, come up with the best situation that you think fit and let it run its course. I mean, you're not going to win them all, but you're not going to lose them all either. Okay. But hopefully in the big ones, it happens. Other one, I'm really a big believer in giving credit where credit's due. I've seen too many other coaches. You see how I won the game? They're not even playing, they're doing their coaching, don't get me wrong. But I changed that play. I called that play, you know. Well, but the athletes had to put the ball in the basket, right? The athlete had to score the touchdown, right? Okay. Yeah, you called that, but if they wouldn't have been able to fulfill it, would you have said I lost that game because? No, they wouldn't have done that. But I'm a believer in most of the games we won. Don't get me wrong, you have to have the coach to be able to run the ship. All right. But the athletes, they deserve the true because they're the one that performed it. They're the one that executed it, what you sent out. Then, but I'm really hard on myself. We lose we get our butts kicked. I'm going, hey, that's just the way it is. Nothing we can do about that. We got beat by a much better team, but we could lose by a small margin. Now I'm beating myself. What could I have done different? And now we're going to make the team better because we're going to learn from this miscue. So it's really the two big things is give credit where it belongs, and they deserve it. You can't win the Kentucky Derby riding a mule, so you got to have them athletes, and they got to have that true belief that they're the main reason we're here.
Great, great. Well, clearly you've had we've talked briefly about your success that you've had in life so far. Can you think of the an experience, a crucible maybe that kind of that was the point in your life where you said, I'm moving. I've got it.
Uh, the first 5 years of my injury, again, doctors told me I would never walk again, possibly not move from my neck down. And they advised my family at the age of 19 to put me in a nursing home, that I'd be too much of a burden to provide care for.
Okay.
And fortunately, we were hard headed and didn't listen. In the first 5 years, I went to 18 different rehabs around the country trying to find that miracle cure to walk again. So when I finally, after the fifth year, after the last attempt, I finally accepted where I'm at, and that is what led me to where we're going. Now it's time to put this other thing on the walking on the back burner, and let's concentrate on what we need to do to have a better life now. So
That's great. Great response. Well, this may be a little redundant, and you may have already addressed it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And that is, what are the qualities you look for when you are looking for a leader? What are those qualities?
again, I want them to share the credit. Also, share out what needs to be done. Don't be in so control that you feel like you got to do everything. Okay. There was one time we had this one principal, and it was time for us to do our 5 year maintenance thing and had to write up our mission statements and everything. And she had all of us in different groups to work on different sections. Well, I was the leader of my group. Well, next thing you knew, the principal just grabbed hold, took care of everything, and I just had to sign off on it and have my other people sign off on it. And I'm going, this is not what we're supposed to. You're doing your mission. We're not doing the school mission. And yeah, so he said she just took, yeah, that was a dictatorship, and we don't need that. Share the wealth, share the people, let them take control so they can be part of the program and everything like that. So
Excellent. So a young person comes to you and says, Dr. Purdue, I want to be a leader. What are your three tips that you give him or her?
well, one I'm going to say, let's assume they're going in an area that they're passionate about. Okay. Don't go in to try to be a leader of something that because your best friends over there, and you don't like what they're doing, but because they're there, you want to be with them. Now, if you're passionate about it, then go be that leader and do the best you can. Learn from your mistakes because you're not going to get it all right 100% of the time. And so you're going to make a mistake. There's one of two things you can do: quit, fold, and move on, or sit back, punt if you need to, reassess things, and determine what you're looking for, if that outcome is achievable. If it is, rearrange things and make it achievable. If you look back and go, really, I don't have to have this goal to get where I need to be in the long run, throw it out. Okay. But be passionate about what you're going after. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, learn from it. And always, I'm big on this: pay it forward, share the information with other people to help them in life.
That's a wonderful response. That's great. Well, listen, let's wrap this up by asking you, what are 3 to 5 of your top personal values that guide you on a daily basis?
Well, I like to say God, even though every now and again would be my number one, but every now and again, right? But, that's our human nature, but God, I believe, have your family is number two involved. I wouldn't be where I'm at in life if it hadn't been for my mom and my brother's grandmother, family, if they hadn't to sacrifice some things in life to be able to make it where I can be successful. So have a good, strong family foundation, everything. And last thing, just go back and keep the faith that those two things are going to work together in your favor.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much, James. And folks, James' bio is posted. You'll be able to go in there and read a little bit more about him. And we just can't thank you enough for taking the time to share your wisdom and your knowledge of leadership with the listening audience.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you again having me on. And Bird Baggett, hey, buddy.
Good old bird. All right.